Welcome back to Community Heroes Podcast. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview Reshaw Butler. How are you doing today, Reshaw?
I'm doing well, Brandon. How are you?
I'm doing good. Reshaw, can you please tell the audience about your disability?
Yes, I can. So, hello everyone. My name is Reshaw. I am 29 years old. I have a master's in organizational leadership from Grand Canyon University, and my disability is I have a visual impairment due to glaucoma.
How has your disability affected you going through school and work now?
So, through school, it affected me in one particular way. Just having my text and my assignments enlarged. So, of course, the teachers will have to go to the copy machine and increase the font of the text. But since we are living in the digital age now, and I've been in school for a long time, the um, the way we learn now through online and through our computers is not really have affected me as much because I can enlarge it myself. But for work, it really hasn't affected me all that much. There are some times where I can't see the labels. Again, I'm in retail. So there are some times where I can't see the labels of certain items. But other than that, my disability really hasn't been a hindrance to me in that regard.
Can you tell me about your work experience?
So my work experience includes one, working at Wayne Community College as a tutor for 9 years. Yes, I did it for 9 years. I within that, I was also in the retail space. So I worked for Bojangles, I worked for Speedway, Walmart, J.C. Penney, Lowe's, the Army and Air Force Exchange Service, and I'm currently at LCI, which is Lions Club Industries, and their whole mission is to employ people who have visual impairment. So that's where I'm at right now.
How hard was it to get your work experience due to your disability?
So my first job, other than being at Wayne Community College, was at Bojangles, and that kind of food service. That's they'll hire anybody, but of course that's not what I wanted to do for my entire life. So I went. I really like people, so my whole goal was to work with people. At one point, I wanted to be a teacher. At another point, I wanted to work in the medical laboratory field. But all in all, I wanted to work with and for people. So when I mean by for people, I mean work alongside them and give them what they need. So when I was looking for careers to go into, I said, what do I like to do? I like people. So retail is all about people. And when I was looking for these jobs, I wanted, of course, you want the ideal job, work Monday through Friday. You want to work from like a 8 to 5. You don't want to work weekends. You don't want to work holidays. But in retail, you can't do that. You have to work whenever the people are there. So the people are mainly during the weekends. They're there at night. They're there online, ordering their stuff through their phones or through their computers. So when I went for this career field and went to this career field, I knew what I had to do. I had to be where the people are. And where I work right now, I'm kind of lucky. I work alongside military men and women who, as they get deployed, they need certain items. So I'm able to get them what they need. And it's more scheduled, more, alongside of what I wanted, working Monday through Friday, no weekends, that sort of thing. But that's
I,
not everyone.
I know talking with you, you've talked about how you wanted to join the military. How has that impacted you, knowing that people with disabilities cannot join the military as well as people that are just normal?
Yeah, so of course the military you have to be, you have to meet certain requirements. So I wanted to join the military because I wanted to serve my country, and the military is also a good way that you can form discipline. So I was in JRTC when I was in high school, and I really liked that, and I wanted to join the military after high school. Couldn't do it because of the disability. However, the Bible says all things work together for good for those who are called according to his purpose. So I knew that I would eventually work alongside military men and women, but didn't know how I would do it. And I was given this opportunity from LCI to work with military men and women. So even though I wasn't able to join the military like I wanted to right after high school, I'm still able to fulfill my goal, which is working alongside military men and women.
Who is the most inspirational person and who has motivated you to achieve your goals?
So everyone in my life is inspirational, but I will narrow it down to three groups or three categories as I will present to you. First, my mom, of course, for being the guiding light in my life, making sure that I do the right thing for one, and making sure that what I do is not only helping myself but helping other people. So my mom, for one. Number two is the managers and supervisors. Yes, we have managers and supervisors that we do not like, and we also have ones that we do like. But every job that I've taken and every job that I've worked at, even though I didn't like a manager or even though I loved a manager, I would take something from one manager and from a supervisor and from a person who was my supervisor. I would take something that worked, something that was good that they taught me, and I'll bring that to another job that I'll be at, and I'll do the same thing with that manager or that supervisor, take it to another job. So of course, managers, supervisors, and the third one is the community of faith. So my pastors, my church leadership, those people, because they know more about Jesus than I would ever know. But they also not only tell me about how good he is, they also show me what my purpose is in him. So my mom, my faith community, and my supervisors and managers.
I know as community here starts to grow, we're looking to work with businesses. How would that, if we started that before you started doing jobs, how would that help our people in our disability community get jobs?
Yeah. So I'm very fortunate to have a group, a community of people who help me find careers that people can work at who have disabilities. So I was in SGA at Wayne Community College twice. I served 2 terms, and having those community relationships, look and asking the people who own businesses, let's hire people who have disabilities because they have to work harder just to prove that they belong here. So having those business relationships, like working with the Walmart here in Goldsboro, working with Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse, working with J.C. Penney, working with the military, to bring in the people with disabilities, to show the world that, yeah, we have a disability, but that's not who we are. We are more than our disability.
What are some of your biggest accomplishments or or your most, like, how did you overcome failure?
Okay, so my biggest accomplishment is, of course, getting my master's in organizational leadership from Grand Canyon University. Also, not just getting that master's, but also bringing people along the way, because when one is successful, we're all successful. So I do like to bring people into the fold of they can achieve the goals that they want to pursue. So not only getting that master's, but also bringing people along the way. The How did I combat failure is, let's just give the example of me not being able to join the military. Okay, yeah, I was heartbroken, I was discouraged, but that did not stop me from pursuing my goal. I went through, many different adversities in life, but at the end of the day, as I said before, all things work together. I was able to, as I say right now, work alongside the men and women of the military.
how did some of your resources help you in your overall goal?
So with me, I'm a perfectionist, and two, I don't settle. And so when someone says no, there are 100 people saying yes. Or when 100 people say no, there's one person that will say yes. It works both ways. So the resources that I was able to grab onto was working with the Department of Health and Human Services, looking for work for people with disabilities, um, finding out ways of where people can get help or where I can get help, and I can be able to share that with everyone else. So just being a person who never gives up, never settles, and continues to grow.
I know talking with you, you've talked about you have a podcast. Can you talk more about your podcast and how it works?
Yes. So as you can see, I have my beautiful logo right here behind me. I do have a podcast. It's called Love from Reshaw. It's basically a podcast about my life. I don't know if you know this in the video, but I do have braces on. In season one, I talk about my journey through my braces. In season two, I'm going to talk about more about my life, more about what I do. Um, and this is kind of a launching pad because I really haven't promoted my podcast, but I'm thankful for the opportunity and the platform to do so. So season two, I will talk more about my life. I plan on interviewing one of my coworkers who work with me um, and see how their lives are. So I plan on continuing this. And of course, you can listen to my podcast wherever you get your podcast. It's called Love from Reshore, and the link will be in the description.
How did you start your podcast? I want to know, like, how did you know that this is what I want to talk about?
So with a podcast, you got to find a topic, and it's very hard to find a topic because you want to do. I'm a tech enthusiast. I love tech, but there's so many tech podcasts, and then I want to do. I love automobiles or cars, so I want to do something about that. But with this COVID-19 pandemic going around the country, I said, I have the time to do so. I tried to launch this podcast about 3 separate times, couldn't do it, but this is my final time launching it, and I finally did it. So when I was looking at what I wanted to talk about, I said, let's just talk about something that I'm doing right now. I'm going through the 6-month smile braces. Let's talk about that. So I said, let me talk about my 6-month smile braces, and now I'm on thinking about season 2, and soon I'm thinking about season 3. So it's
Well,
going to be, we're yeah, we have the time now. We have the time.
did you ever think that you would start a podcast if you looked back at your life, let's say 10 years
No,
ago?
not at all. I was into my career and trying to find my footing and doing all that. So a podcast never even crossed my mind. And then, you know, it really didn't pick up steam until about 2017, 2018. But then things happened in my life, and I didn't have the time to do so. But now that everyone has to stay home, you have the opportunity, or I have the opportunity to do so, do a podcast. So yeah.
What are some of the accomplishments that you are looking to achieve throughout the year and through in your future?
So everyone asks about schooling, and so right now I'm not going back to school. I have a master's. I don't want to go back to school, but who knows? You never know, right? Um, in my current position, I work alongside military men and women, as I said. And when I went in for my interview, the district manager was already tapping me to go to another facility in a different city. So I may move up in this company, may go to that facility and help them. We don't know what the future has for us, but if we continue to be faithful and trust the Lord, all things will work together. So I'm very excited for what the future holds.
Is there anything that you would like to tell to the Community Heroes audience?
Yes. So once again, I would like to thank you and Tyrone for allowing me to do this. One thing I want to tell everyone is that uh, no matter what happens in your life, it all works for the good. So, as I said before, I've been through some challenging situations. Again, I give the example, I always go back to joining the military, or wanting to join the military. And now I sit here working alongside the very people I wanted to be a part of. And so it all works out. Continue to pursue, continue to persevere, continue to just go for it. You will reach your goal, but you don't know the path of the way you're going to reach that goal. You will reach it, but you don't know the path. And that's the fun part, the pathway of reaching your goals. And the other thing I want to do is just to encourage everyone, to support one another. Because as I said before, when one succeeds, we all succeed. So I would like to thank you again and Tyrone for allowing me to do this.
Thank you for your interview, Reshaw. And please don't forget to follow us, Community Heroes, on the following platforms: Facebook, Community Heroes; Instagram, Community Heroes _NC; Twitter, com _heroes; YouTube at Community Heroes. You can insert Community Heroes interviews to find all of our interviews that we have done in the past. Please feel free to subscribe, comment, and like, and share. And our website, www.communityheroes.nt. Thank you again, Reshaw, for your interview.
Thank you again, Brandon. And if you want to know more about myself, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat, all at Reshaw Tyrell. That's RESHAWTYRAEL. Thank you again.